Coach Greg here, and today I want to do something different, and that's to recap the 2019 Vancouver Pro Show and basically go through some of the results and what I thought about the competitors. So I'm going to get right into it with the open class competitors, but before that, I am not an IFBB pro judge. I am a qualified amateur judge and have judged shows before, but I'm not an IFBB pro judge. So don't sue me if I say something that they wouldn't have agreed with. To start with, Hadi Choopan. He was absolutely insane. That is the best I've ever seen him look easily. He just blew me away. I was really impressed with this guy. He's shredded. He has muscle everywhere, well proportioned. The only critique really could be that his waist isn't naturally small. He made the most of it and he killed it. Like, just amazing. This guy, I can't say anything other than if he was in the 212 class at the Olympia, there is no one beating him. Flex Lewis isn't beating him. No one is beating him. He would win the 212 class for sure. Now, mind you, he weighed 220 pounds at this show, which is 8 pounds over the 212 limit, so it's not really fair to say he would beat the 212 guys because technically he's 220. But even if he lost 8 pounds, he is still going to win the Mr. Olympia if he competes in the 212 class. Now, I don't know if he's going to want to do that or just go right to the open because, frankly, he's going to be a top 5 Olympia guy right now in the open. So, you know, what's better, 5th place open or winning the 212? That is highly debatable. I don't really know what's better. It depends. Do you want to be the big fish in the smaller pond or like placing really high, you know, in a pro show? But he's not winning. He's not winning the Olympia in the open, but maybe someday, but not right now. Hadi Choopan, awesome, nailed it. Problem with him is he hasn't been allowed in the U.S. because they have all these rules. They don't let criminals in, and they don't let people that are from certain countries, and it's biased. But at least Canada let him in. I'm from Canada. We let him in. Hopefully, after seeing that he came to Canada, it's not a big deal. Maybe they'll allow him to get into the United States, and everyone wants to see him in the Olympia. They don't care if he's 212 or open. We just want to see a freak like that in the show. Okay. Nathan Daasha was second. I thought he deserved second. He looks really good. And, you know, it's too bad that Hadi showed up because it was not for that. This guy definitely deserves to be in the Olympia. Lucas Olzadil. I first saw him compete in Toronto as a 212 competitor. I couldn't pronounce his name, so all I would say was the dude with the dancing glutes. Because he would stand on the side and his glutes would be like, it was like ridiculous. He was so shredded and looked so good. And since then, he's still so shredded and so good. He's just a bigger version of himself. He is awesome. If you ever see him pose, you'll be like, holy shit, this guy's glutes are so ripped. Like any pose, it doesn't even matter. He looks absolutely outstanding. Okay. Next, Ian Valère. Ian Valère, I didn't find he brought his best to this show. I find his quadriceps don't show as much conditioning as they have in the past. On the side, he has very deep cuts from like the hamstring quad separation. Looks really good. He's really huge and he's really lean overall. I just don't think he quite brought as good of a package as, I wouldn't say it was bad. I just would say it's not his all-time best Ian Valère package, the one that won shows that got him to the Olympia in the past. And Josh Wade, I think he's not at his best anymore here either. I think he's done like 5 shows in a row almost this year. And when you're at that level, at that shredded condition, with that much muscle, and to hold it for 5 shows, it's going to play its toll eventually. I've done shows where I've tried to hold condition 5 weeks apart, and it is brutal. It's a nightmare. I don't recommend you do that. 3 shows, to me, that's about the limit. So for him, I mean, he got in there and got the top 5, but man, that's a brutal lineup. And any of these guys in a normal, regular show probably could have won. Like, not a big show, but in a regular show, these guys are all guys that could be in the Olympia. So the open class, very competitive, very impressive. I mean, in a normal show, an Ian Valère would have won, or Nathan Daasha, for example. The phone's ringing. Anyway, going into the 212 class, Zane Watson nailed it, and he looked amazing, and he deserved the win. Now, there were only 4 guys in the show, but there could have been 40 guys in the show, and I still think Zane could have won this show. He just looked shredded. The muscles were full. He brought a really good package. I'm not going to get into the other guys, but I want to mention Prince Bobang. Prince Bobang got 3rd in Toronto at his pro debut. Everyone was talking about this guy being a freak, amazing and looking outstanding, and just lacking maybe a little bit of conditioning. And he got beat by Aldura, and I forget who else beat him, but he's a good competitor, and he had just won his pro card. So then he comes to the Vancouver Pro Show and gets 4th out of 4. Well, that sucks. 4th out of 4. That means you got last place. Why? Because he doesn't freaking diet hard enough. So I'm reading his posts on Instagram. Now, mind you, I'm friends with this guy, so whatever. He doesn't train hard. He doesn't diet hard. He had 5 weeks from Toronto where he wasn't as lean as he should have been to get in shape. And then you see the post. It's like, oh, I'm really nailing it. Oh, I'm so ripped this time. Look how lean I am. I'm down to 206. And I'm like, dude, you need to be 202. Anyway, different topic. He didn't diet hard enough. He brought a slightly soft package, which he usually does. But his genetics are so freaking good that he still dominates. Now, mind you, if I would have been in the show, I would have got 5th out of 5. So I'm not saying I'm better than Prince. He'd beat me. It wouldn't matter. He doesn't even have to die. He'd probably beat me in his off season. So this guy, just think of this. When he's on stage in shape or off season, he looks about the same. He loses maybe 10 pounds. He doesn't have a fat off season. He's not like he's like bulking up too much. There's no different. It's like Prince is Prince. He's always the same. Now, this has been my advice to Prince for many years. Go in the classic competitor division. No, it's not classic. They're not big bodybuilders. They're not real bodybuilders. I'm a bodybuilder. I'm going to be Flex Lewis. I'm going to be a Flex Wheeler. I'm going to beat Phil, he just wants to be an open freak, but he's not. He's a classic dude. If he had meant 2202, he would have won and been in the Olympia in the two, whatever you call it, classic. His weight limit is 202 because of his height. Okay, that's why I keep saying 202. So he has to weigh 202. If he did it, he would win. If he made 202, he would be shredded. It guarantees everything. So if Prince is watching this, watch it. Switch divisions. Stop thinking you're going to be open Mr. Olympia. You're not going to beat Phil Heath. Never. You will never beat Phil Heath, okay? You're not 20 years old. You're not going to grow. I want to see Prince do well, but he doesn't listen to me. His coach is Andrew McEnroy. They do what they do. They're going to keep doing what they're going to keep doing. I don't know if anyone can really get through to Prince to make him get leaner. He just needs to get leaner and shredded. He never comes in peeled, but his shape is so freaking redonkulous that if you seen him, you could see the potential in him, and he just wastes it over and over again. And one guy I want to bring up also is Q. And babe, what's his first full name?
His name is Quentin.
His name is Quentin, and I just see him on Instagram, so I'm not really friends. I only talked to him once. Quentin Beast Mode on Instagram.
No, Beast Wood.
What?
It's Quint Beast Wood on Instagram.
Quint Beast Wood
Yes.
on Instagram. Anyway, he's my favorite bodybuilder now. He's
And mine
shape.
too.
What?
And mine too.
And Allie's too. So there you go. That's 2 fans from one household. This guy is insane. His shape is so stupid. It's so crazy. And this guy was natural like 2 years ago or whatever it was. He won the Canadian National Drug Tested Championship overall, turned pro, natural. And every one of you would have said, no way is he natty, no. No, he's got great genetics and amazing build. And he got such a good build natural that you would think there's no possible way that anyone could get that kind of muscle. And I keep telling you, any IFBB pro that's a freak, if you take away all the steroids, they would still be amazing and be better than you. 99% of you guys out there that compete, he would beat you natty. Now, he's in open bodybuilding now, but guess what? He's only a couple of pounds over classic physique. He could lose a couple more pounds and be in classic physique. This man would be immediately Mr. Olympia potential, maybe win. My other favorite competitor is Chris Bumstead, but he's not a bodybuilder. Technically, he's into classic physique. So he's my favorite classic physique. I think that those two, I can't even predict who would win. I think it'd be a tie. Boom. They'd tie for Mr. Olympia. That's my prediction. I wish that Quentin could have gone in Classic and done the Olympia once and got shredded to the bone, because I think he might have won the Mr. Olympia and he could have then switched to Open. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't want to do that. It's his own choice. He's going to be in the Mr. Olympia in a couple years for sure. He's just starting. He's only 24 years old. Freak of genetics. Smallest waist. Muscles pop everywhere. Good shape. It's just unbelievable what guys with good genetics can do. So anyway, a lot of you think you can't do anything natural. This guy turned pro natural. So just stop already. And he's like 6'1.5", something like that, and almost 250 pounds, but that's right at the limit of Classic, if you want to believe it. I have to weigh 185 as if I'd ever have a chance against somebody like that. Zero chance. I couldn't even beat him if I put 20 pounds of muscle on. So, that's just the facts of life. You have to have God-given genetic shape to do this. Do I want to talk about anybody else? No. Just bodybuilding. We're not into the classic physique or board short physique. Men's physique. Well, I'll mention it. Men's physique. Those guys are bigger than me now, half of them. They just stand there and they have the smallest waist in the world. They're freaking huge now. I disagree with the whole thing. I think that they should have a smaller division for more normal shape built guys. Because as it stands right now, men's physique is classic physique competitors who are too big for classic. Follow me on Instagram, Greg Doucette IFBB Pro. Click the subscribe button. Like the video if you liked it. I'll probably do some more of these videos. Hope you like my take on the show. And watch some more of my videos. They can be blooped up above my shoulders on either side. And stay tuned for more.